Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I am filming my first ever TBR video, and I decided to make it a TBR jar video. And in here I have a bunch of my summer and spring books that are on my TBR that I really would love to get to this time. So there's no prompts, these are book titles. When it comes to my TBR, I'm a major mood reader, so I have some books that I have already pre-selected that I want to read in the month of May, and then I'm going to pick 3 books out of the jar that I also want to add to my TBR, just so I don't end up in any book slumps and I'm actually enjoying what I'm reading and not just reading it and picking it up because I put it on some TBR. And this is very, very similar to Liv's library here on YouTube. I love her videos. And I like how she does her TBRs because I literally feel the same way, and I do want to get through my physical TBR, but at the same time, I love buying books, and there's so many new releases I want to read, so I will have those on my TBR no matter what. So I'm going to do what's pretty similar to what she does, and let's get started. First, let's talk about the books I have already pre-selected to be on my TBR. The first book I have pre-selected is Poirot Investigates. This is the 3rd book in Agatha Christie's Poirot series, and I have been slowly making my way through it. This is the next one for me, so I'm hoping to get to it in May. And if I remember correctly, this might be a bunch of short stories. Then I have one that I had on my April TBR that I just didn't get to, but I still would love to read because I've heard nothing but great reviews of, and that is Edenbrooke. I love a good Regency romance, so I'm hoping to get to this one. I don't know much about it, so I will be going into it blind, but just all the great reviews I've seen about it has been enough for me to want to pick it up. I went ahead and picked up my little mic holder. I've been loving using my little women copy to hold my mic, and also it's just so much easier to have a bigger object to hold versus the teeny tiny mic. So I just went and got this. Just recently went and picked up on a date with my husband because him and I are both planning on reading this. We're going to buddy read it together in the month of May, and that is Dead Man's Walk. This is the book in the Lonesome Dove series. There's a lot of debate, from my understanding, on which book in the Lonesome Dove series you should start with. And my husband and I decided to not go with the release date order where you would start with Lonesome Dove. We decided to go chronological order. I'm excited to see what all the hype is about the characters Colt and Gus, so I'll keep you guys updated on this one. Another book I have that I am super excited about that I just received in the mail today, and that is The Other Bennett Sister. I am so excited to get to this one. This is Mary Bennett's story, I believe. So if you're familiar with Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet, that was her story, and I'm guessing, if I remember correctly, this is Mary Bennet and her story, and I'm so excited to get to this. I haven't read many, if any, Pride and Prejudice retellings, and it's one of my favorite Jane Austen novels, so this definitely has to get read this month. And I heard there might be a TV show adaptation. I don't know. I'm excited to read it though. And then this next one I'm currently reading, and that is Rights of the Starling. Oops, sorry. This is the 2nd book in the Shield of Sparrow series. I've read the first one last year with my bestie, and her and I are reading this one again together. We're buddy reading it. I'm almost done with it, probably like 70%, if you could see that, through it. And I liked the first one quite a bit. I think I gave it 5 stars, but then I was like watching recaps on the first book before I got into this one, and after watching that, I'm like, I don't think I actually think this is a 5-star read for me, maybe a 4-star, and so I would re-rate that book probably 4 stars. And now I'm reading the second book, and I'm enjoying it. It's just not my favorite. Romanticy is really hard for me. I'm not huge in the smut books, so that takes away a little bit for me in the story. So I honestly probably gonna lean on a 3-star, because also in this one I feel like we're getting the same information. It's slow, like definitely second book syndrome with this for me, in my opinion. But yeah, I will let you guys know more in a wrap up. And then as for new releases, I am really looking forward to reading Our Perfect Storms by Carly Fortune. This comes out May 5th, and I can't wait to read this. I've read all her books, and there's only one that I thought was like mid, but other than that, they have been like 4.5, maybe like all 5 stars for me, and I really enjoy them. They're the perfect summer reads. So you've probably seen Our Perfect Storm all over the place, so let me tell you a little bit about it if you haven't heard. It is about this girl. She's about to get married when she finds a letter from her soon-to-be husband, and he's calling off the wedding, and she's devastated, clearly, and she tells her best friend, and they, I guess from my understanding, are like not as close as they used to be. So he suggests that they go on her honeymoon together to get over her now ex, and to also rekindle their friendship. And one thing about me is I love Friends 2 more. I just love it. It feels so true to like real time and real relationships, having a friendship and knowing the person on a deep level before even jumping into a relationship. I love that. So I am really looking forward to this book. And then I have one more new release I also really want to read that comes out May 19th, and that is The Burning Side. I just read The Bright Years in April, and I loved it. It was 5 stars. I really love a like lit fic book with a family, like a dysfunctional family, or families that are going through real life trials, and books that have just so much depth to them where you're really feeling for the characters. And I fell in love with that book, so I'm so excited to read The Burning Side, which I believe is about a family, husband and wife, that are talking about divorce, pretty sure they're going to get a divorce, and after they talked about that, their house burns down. So I am really excited for this. I am really looking forward to this couple hopefully finding their way back to each other, and leaning on each other after something so devastating happens to them. Now let's jump into the TBR jar. Let's see. Let's go this one. See what this is. Ooh. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scandals. I'm really excited for this one. This is definitely perfect for spring, and my bestie got it for me. Here is the book. I am so excited for this one. I have read other books by India Holton before her. Although the series, what is it? It's a long title. What is it? The Orthodontist Guide to Love or something like that. There's actually the 3rd book that's out now, and I haven't read it yet, and I really want to get to it. But I'm so excited to get to her, I think, original little trilogy. This is the 1st book. And the reason why I'm mainly so excited for this is because this author has such a unique voice. Her writing style is so funny, and I literally can never put her books down. I'm completely sucked in. They have me actually laughing out loud, and I'm sure this one will not disappoint, because just a synopsis, like, already I'm so intrigued. And in this one, we're following Cecilia, and she is part of a society of like pirates, I believe. And she is trying to make her way up the ranks in the society, and another woman puts a hit on her, and that is where we find our love interest. And so it's going to be enemies to lovers, and I just love how she writes enemies to lovers, because it's not as like serious and like, you know, steamy like some romanticities would be, but just a good fun time. I'm really excited for this one, and I probably, if I'm starting the first book and it's just a trilogy, just gonna binge all 3. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. All right, let's pick book 2 out of the jar, and I'm just gonna go ahead with the one right here on top. Ooh, this is a good one. I just got this on my bestie girls trip, The Thorn Queen. I'm sure the majority of you have seen book 1, The Rose Bargain, and this, I believe, is only a duology. And I thought, like, when this book came out that I was going to pick it up right away, but I kind of been in a little fantasy slump. But I'm really excited this is on my maytbr, because it'd be nice just to, like, have the duology finished. And I really enjoyed book 1. I gave it 5 stars, and I just love these Barnes & Noble special editions. They are just so gorgeous. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with our character, because the last one did leave off on a big cliffhanger. So I don't want to give too much of a synopsis on this one, but in The Rose Bargain, we follow our main character whose sister goes missing, and she's trying to figure out where her sister went, but all at the same time, the queen is hosting this big event for someone to win the hand of her son. So it's kind of like Hunger Games in a way. I know that's like so overused as a comparison, but it's just because these girls are like brutal with each other when trying to like get the hand of the prince. And it's also gives like, you know, the Bachelor vibes, because you know, these girls are all living in the castle and interacting with the prince. But I love it, and it takes place in like a fae world. Well, not a fae world, but with fae. And I'm really excited for the second book. I'm glad it got picked. Now let's choose our third and final prompt. Let me get this little guy. And we have, ooh, Redwall. Oh, this is actually another fantasy. We're gonna have lots of fantasy on the maytbr. Here is Redwall. I have never seen anyone read or rate this book that I follow here on BookTube or Book Talk, or even on my Goodreads, so I'm really excited for this. The cover is just so cute, and I believe this fantasy book came out in like sometime in the 80s, and it's the first book in a pretty big fantasy series, but this to me seems more up my alley, what I like in fantasy. So I'm really hoping this cures my fantasy slump. But in this book, we are following a little mouse, and he or she, I'm not sure, is on the quest to save their little village from this evil one red-eyed rat. And I am here for it. I love a good quest book, especially when there's animals, and that's another one of my favorite tropes is talking animals. So I'm really excited for this. This should be a quick read, and it's the only book I have in the series, so we'll see how sucked in I get into this book and if I immediately want to go and pick up the other books. First book we have on the maytbr is Redwall by Brian Jacques. I don't know how to say the last name. I'm so bad with last names, but this is the first book. Poirot Investigates by Agatha Christie. Larry McMurtry's Dead Man's Walk. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hardlow. Edenbrook by Julianne Dolderson. The Thorn Queen by Sasha Peyton Smith. And then the last book that I will be probably finishing up here very soon, that is Rights of the Starling by Devi Perry. But yeah, there's all the books I am reading in May. Let me know what you guys are reading in May and what book I should get to first. And I hope you guys all have a great reading month.